We'll talk about this. So this is Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash. I'm joined by my buddy Caleb here, and before we get into this, I need him to do two things for me. First of all, I need him to explain to you why I have this, and when he's done with that, he needs to explain to me why I have this.
It's all because your main source of entertainment here has no impulse control when a game is brought up that he's never heard of before.
Yeah, that's not a joke either. Well, I'm actually pretty good with my money, but at the same time, when I hear something interesting, I kind of have to go in and get it. Now, this thing is sort of like as I was told, the main series is beat 'em up games, and there was another one on the PS4 that was kind of like a Dynasty Warriors game, near as I can tell. But as Caleb explained to me, they had a Splatoon spin-off. And I was immediately interested to that. And that's actually not why I have this. I was on Amazon looking up the Pokeball Plus for Let's Go Pokemon. Just to see the price, which that is a $60 Pokewalker, essentially. I'm not buying that, even if it does come with a Mew. Screw that. But Pokemon Let's Go Eevee was 50% off as a pre-order. And I said, well, I'm going to get this anyway. I'll buy it. And this was in the related searches. And it was interesting because a brand new limited edition version, which comes with DLC, an art book, the soundtrack, which I've been listening to, very good soundtrack, by the way, that was cheaper than a used copy of the standard version. So I was just like, okay, fine. But I guess it's Splatoon with boobs. Let's figure this out. Oh, God. Now, see, I'm a little worried about these fan servicey games because they tend to either make me very, very uncomfortable or they tend to just be cringy. That's why I don't have any other of these kind of games.
This one will hopefully do both.
Oh, that's mortifying. Oh, God. I am functionally interested in how you turn a beat 'em up into Splatoon, though. That's functionally a very interesting prospect to me. And I mean, it is summer, so I guess we do need some Super Soaker nonsense. I've actually been recently watching Adam Savage's YouTube channel, watching him like mod Super Soakers and stuff. It's ridiculous to see what he can do with like Nerf stuff. It's funny.
Oh, it's always amazing.
I'm gonna skip this. If I can. Oh dear Lord, I can't skip this. I can press the button that records this. For those of you on my very limited PS4 friends list, would you like a shared clip of the opening of this? Of me trying to skip this? I don't think you would, but I could do it.
As I was telling in the past, actually yesterday, these games take themselves very self-seriously. Well, also with a knowing kind of wink wink nudge nudge about the whole ninja school
fan service.
Yeah.
And I think that's not necessarily a bad way to go about it. It was Kevin. We went to college with Kevin. He taught me that the core of any good comedy is subverting expectations. So if you took something like Boob Ninjas and played it totally straight, that is the joke in and of itself, and that's actually pretty solid comedy. At least as my understanding of comedy is. I don't know, I don't think I'm particularly funny, but I try. Now, I don't get why ninjas would be playing with Super Soakers when they could be, ninja-ing it up. Also, even the dead, so we're going to be playing with zombies, I guess. No special skills. Okay, that's a weird rule.
Means no one can summon giant toads on people. Instead...
Are you telling me Frog is ineligible to play this game?
Yes.
See, I was hoping for that Chrono Trigger crossover. I remember someone telling me about a DS Chrono Trigger style game, and I got really amped about it, but I never got to play it.
Radiant Historia.
That's it, yeah.
It was just re-released for 3DS, which has made it much more widely available, and it is one of the best JRPGs I have ever played.
Is it downloadable?
Yes.
I'll have to check that afterwards. My 3DS is a piece of shit, but I really want to play it, so I guess I'll be doing that. Okay, he is my hero officially. We're live on YouTube.
One thing I will give this franchise is though there are pretty much next to none in the main cast, men do exist. So despite all the lesbian antics that they try to play up, particularly on the PS4 branch of the franchise, they do not pretend that there's only one.
They don't asexually reproduce?
Yes.
Okay, well that's good, I guess. Now, the question is this the weirdest sort of Dynasty Warriors spin-off out there? Because I know there was a Guilty Gear spin-off that was basically a Dynasty Warriors game. Would that be weirder than this?
No. But it is functionally worse. I have played Guilty Gear 2.
Have you?
It is not a good game.
I've never seen a copy of it. I saw it once and I thought that's... Huh.
I had friends who had it. That's where I managed to play it. And in return, I let them play something good like Magna Carta 2. But
that's a game I want to play. Hey, new DX skill card set. Open. Okay. I'm not sure what these things do, but...
I think they're your abilities, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay. I'm noticing a lot of boobs. I'm not necessarily against this. I think these are for the DLC that I got because I got the limited edition.
It's quite possible, yes.
Because I know I got a card set, I got a pet. I got the soundtrack, which, as I mentioned, I've been listening to a little bit. And it reminds me a lot of Sonic Adventure, actually. Like, there's a lot of really good guitar and drum and some keyboard and stuff. It just sounds really catchy, so... Think Sonic Adventure when Sonic Adventure wasn't just reusing Sonic 3D Blast's soundtrack.
The entire franchise has a very strong soundtrack. It's probably one of its more outstanding parts.
Yeah,
as I said, its aim will be to make you both cringe and feel uncomfortable.
It's succeeding.
No, this is the second most fan-servicey of the spin-offs to the main franchise.
Oh, good.
The most fan-servicey one being the cooking rhythm game for the Vita.
That's a thing.
That is a thing.
Okay, now
you actually need the first Vita title though to get this game to function because all your costumes and unlocked characters transfer between the two.
I did see that this game has like $200 worth of DLC for costume crossovers from like Neptune to Ikitosen and stuff. It's weird how much DLC is for this game that is just costumes. I'm pretty sure...
It's almost Dead or Alive 5 levels of bad.
I was literally about to say, I'm pretty sure this actually puts Dead or Alive 5 to shame.
It doesn't, but it's almost.
Yeah, it's...
I've been looking into Dead or Alive 5 recently.
I have too. They have Virtua Fighter characters in there for some reason.
It's just a great fighting game all around.
I've got the original 2 Dead or Alives, and I'm kind of annoyed about it because if you got Dead or Alive 3, you could carry over costumes from the first one. There's hundreds and hundreds of them, but they are a complete pain in the ass to get. So the alternative is to get a magazine demo disc, because magazines used to release demos of games back before you could download them, and then you get all the costumes instantly. But that disc is hundreds of dollars. I've seen. It's like, well, I guess I'm never playing Dead or Alive 3 on Xbox. Actually, the only fighting game of that particular era I really want to play right now is Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube, because I've always just wanted to try that.
Soul Calibur 2 is great.
The only Soul Calibur game I've ever played was the 5th one, where you play as Sophicia's kids, played by a very bland and bored-sounding Yuri Lowenthal and some other girl who plays like Sophicia.
It is his worst role. I will actually...
Not Hiseo? Not Bakanetsumaru?
No, Bakanetsumaru is better. And Hiseo works fine. Like, I'm A-okay with Hiseo, but then I have a very, very fun to talk about edgelord period that Hiseo belonged to. So...
Well, see, that's the thing. I can associate myself with Hiseo because when I was in high school, I played a lot of MMOs, and I had a very dear friend of mine, just like Hiseo, and she ended up killing herself, which was rather sad, and I ended up really latching onto Hiseo as a character because I kind of felt a connection to him. But having played .hack GU again last year because they released the collection, and I can finally play the third one, Hiseo is just a twat. Like, I do not like Haseo. He is obnoxious.
Oh, you go through. There's multiple moments. And you're sitting through the game, especially the first one. Oh my. Sitting through the first one, and you're like, well, I do not like Syllabus and Gaspard very much either. They're really irritating. But couldn't I have played as Kun or Pai or, someone who functionally can do stuff and isn't just an ass to everyone for no reason?
Or what was her name? The girl who ended up sacrificing herself in the second game.
Wasn't it Alcade?
Alcade, yeah. I liked Alcade. She was a little annoying to start with, but she kind of became a likable character as time went on.
Well, thankfully she was introduced in the first volume, so you didn't just get her introduction and then go, oh my god, why is she so irritating for the entirety of Volume 2. There was some progress.
The sad thing is, when you actually have her and you start liking her, then she dies, basically. And it's
Sorry for the spoilers for like a 12-year-old game, by the way. But
also technically a half-year-old game.
No one's been buying it. If you walk into an EV Games, it's on sale.
I have
all
it
the
digitally.
Oh, I have it physically, so I'm not exactly innocent either. But
I'm just pissed I don't have the third one because the spines of the cases make one picture of the Grunty, and it's like I've got 2/3 of it, and that pisses me off. I've never played the original set, but I've heard that's probably for the best because they're rough.
They're rough, but the story's more engaging.
Yeah. What really impressed me about that, especially compared to GU, was they were consistent with their voice actors across the show and the TV, because Dot Hack was also a TV show at the time.
Yeah.
And when they had crossovers with the game and the show, they had the exact same voice actors. So, I think it was Balmong was played by Crispin Freeman in both. Whereas in the Dot Hack GU universe, they were done by two different studios. You had the games, which were voiced by American voice actors, like Yuri Lowenthal famously playing Haseo, and the anime was voiced by Canadian voice actors, so you had Andrew Francis playing Haseo instead. And I think they're both excellent voice actors, but it just kind of felt weird.
It does create a huge disconnect, especially when you think of the... what was his name?
Ovan was played by Shard.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest, but no, what's his name? The dude in the anime thing that comes with the main GU story. Oh, what was it called?
Roots.
No, not Roots. It's the one that actually came with the games.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name though. JRPGs are fun.
I miss the Dot Hack franchise. There are rumors that CyberConnect is working on a reboot of the franchise as a whole.
Well, there was a bunch that we just didn't get in North America.
Oh, that was game. Okay,
yeah.
that was
well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be seeing this when I try and upload this to YouTube, because having tried to upload footage of Golden Axe Beast Summoner, that was considered too adult and inappropriate for YouTube. Because
if you don't show the story footage, you can get away with the gameplay.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the game, which is weird because the gameplay is the adult content portion of the entire thing.
Well, yeah, it's literally just seeing a woman in a metal bikini with a somewhat large chest.
Why is Homura not tan anymore? Anyway, that's just the long-term fan of the franchise complaining.
Okay. This is why I needed him here for this. I don't think I could carry this on my own. I think I would have just left in shame.
It's a weird franchise.
Or campiness. I'm not sure which either. But, yeah. Come on, how long until we actually get to game? I want a game. Why does she have a hand stapled to a stick? Is that one of those, like, grabby devices?
I'm going to expect it to be.
That's... Given the context of that, that's horrifying.
I would expect that to be the case, too.
It's because of you I own this.
I only accept very small amount of blame because I did not force you to buy it.
No, that's true. That was complete serendipity. It's your fault I know about this game, though.
That I do accept because I did bring it up, but
well, to be fair, if it's fun, I don't care how cringe it is if it's enjoyable. I just want to actually get to something where I can do something.
You want to get out of the cringe and to possibly see if it is enjoyable.
Yeah, well, that's what this whole first impressions thing is about. I mean, we've been at this for 15 minutes, and I've still not super soakered anything.
No, instead we've had a lengthy discussion about PS2 era JRPGs.
There were a lot of them, and I don't have as many as I probably should, but they get really expensive really quick.
They were also great.
Yeah, they were. Okay, here we go. Grip softly to squirt. Complete the tutorial. Okay. So I've got a butt jetpack, it looks like. Okay. R2. Oh, it's hold, not press. Okay. L2. Lock on. Targeted and firing. Squish, 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 squish. Okay. Is there another one? Oh, there's one behind me. Okay. I can move! It's like a whole new world. Yeah.
She then gets stuck on terrible Japanese game design when it comes to fences.
Very few games have ever gotten fences right. Have you ever played Morrowind?
Yes.
Fences are the ultimate boss in that game.
No, the only games to get them right are the Fable games.
Which is horrifying because Fable didn't do a lot of things right. Melee, okay. How do I... Ah, triangle. You would think melee would not be that useful in a game about super soakers.
I'm just more shocked they're still allowing them to use their weapons while...
Ah, jetpack! Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so... Special car... Okay, so that's a shield. That's... I don't know what that did. What is this thing? Okay, so I've got a cannon now. Okay. I'm only somewhat conscious of what I just did, but okay. Special attacks mapped to the directional buttons. Got it. Your turn. I hope you're paying attention.
I was.
Oh, good.
I went very silent there for a bit because I was reading the...
I kind of get that. Swords are better than water guns. I agree.
We'll see. Again, we gotta all remember though that the main character of this franchise, the paler of the two clones, there. She's kind of an idiot who will go along with everything that someone tells her to.
Oh, good.
So she's probably the reason we even agreed to that. Oh my.
Yay! Oh wait, I think that's only for replaying. Shit.
Shoot.
Shit. Oh, the fan servicey cringe. Heterochromia. It seems functionally, at least it's pretty good. I mean, it seems to work as good, if not better than Splatoon for, you know, the training mission I played. But that said, I've got kind of a low opinion of Splatoon too, so.
See, I haven't spent anywhere near enough time to functionally know how Splatoon operates. Oh yay, they gave me one. Okay, Oscar, let's not screw this up. I'm going to die so badly.
No, you're just going to get very, very wet. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's some neat movement in this game. I like that.
Oh, and you can turn auto-aim off.
I think there's like a sort of like... It reduces all your water tanks, but you get like a hyper jetpack that just boosts you to the other side of the stage. I think I saw that in one of the promo things, and that seemed really functionally cool.
So far, just playing it, it functions really well, but these enemies are bullet sponges.
Yeah.
Even for training dummies, it's... Okay, those enemies are not Good to know that the balloons are bigger bullet sponges than the random
blow-up dolls.
Yeah.
Let's not shy away from it. That's what they were.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
My turn.
All right. Functionally, it's actually pretty smooth.
It doesn't use stupid gyroscopic controls to aim, so I'm giving this a nudge of better controls than Splatoon.
It also has the benefit of not being a Dynasty Warriors game with a crappy camera.
Yeah, that's true.
Lock on for the win. There is a reason Devil May Cry had it in the older games.
Oh, I gotta play Devil May Cry 1 again.
DMC 1's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know a lot of people prefer 3. I think I like 1 better. Even like that weird first-person underwater segment with the harpoon gun. Like, sure, it didn't have enough levels, and sure, you ran into the same bosses over and over, but I think it was more functionally a better game.
I am a big fan of...
Don't tell me Devil May Cry 4. Or the remake, or the new one, rather.
No. I enjoyed what 4 had to offer, but I enjoyed...
You can play Dante for 10% of it.
See, that was their big issue in the first place.
Well, yeah, he had the most interesting weapons, too. Like, he had that Pandora's box that was like 20 different weapons.
Yeah.
That was such bullshit that you had to stick to whatever played by Johnny Youngbosch.
Funny enough, Johnny Young Bosch played everything about Nero, the motion capture, and the what's it called? Voice.
Oh, really? He did mocap too.
Yeah, well, you gotta let a former Power Ranger do his Power Ranger stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was, I think he was the second Black Power Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I know the first one was weird because, that's kind of how you could tell the Japanese version was a different thing than the English version, because the English actor for the Black Power Ranger had 4 fingers on one hand, whereas the Japanese actor, of course, had a full complement of digits. And then Johnny Youngbosch, he took over as the next Black Power Ranger.
Now I want a quality Power Rangers game.
Johnny Youngbosch, while we're on the subject of him, great range. He's fantastic.
He doesn't get to use it a lot, though. They want him to...
No, he's either Renton Thurston or he's Ichigo Kurosaki.
Yeah. And Lelouch in Code Geass was one of the worst, in my opinion, because I just had him playing Ichigo with more sinister tone.
I've never seen Code Geass. My brother's telling me to because it's his favorite anime. I thought it was Yuri Lowenthal who played Lelouch.
No. Lowenthal plays Suzaku, the other lead. And he does a great job. He does an absolutely fantastic job. John Young Bosch didn't do a terrible job. In fact, I've got...
it's probably the direction he was given.
Yes. No, some of my favorite roles of his were Emil in Dawn of the New World, and how no one knew that was...
I did.
That was him for the longest while.
I watched Eureka 7, though. I'm a big fan of Eureka 7, so I knew that was Johnny Young Bosch. My problem with Dawn of the New World was it was Dawn of the New World.
It's got some of my favorite skits in the entire franchise, but that's all it's got going for it.
Yeah, they bring back they did this stupid thing every sequel Tales of game has, which is, we have this fantastic cast of characters, we're not going to use any of them, we're using new characters no one cares about. And then when we do bring back the old characters, they get underutilized.
Well, that's an awkward title.
They all seem to be awkward titles.
Well, this one was a young 27-year-old, and I am very confused as to why that is the mission name.
It's a story about me. It's weird. What, like that last thing? If you get wet, you power up somehow. Which is weird because that seems like the antithesis. That seems like that would like weaken you. But I guess there's like a weird sort of mix between the two. Revive.
Oh my god, I'm the one who has to do the
Oh god. Okay, now here's where it gets really cringy and uncomfortable. Oh dear lord. I own this game. You know, I was okay with this game up until that point.
Yeah, when they moved to the PS4, everything got much worse on the cringe factor. Prior to that, it was actually still within reason. I can't say less awkward reason because I don't know where people's threshold is, but
yeah. Okay, so going back to I was about to say Tales of Symphonia. Going back to Tales of, what's your favorite game in the series?
In the Tales series?
Yeah.
Tales of the Abyss. I really liked the world building.
Interesting. That was the one that I have played that I never finished. I literally got to the first boss and gave up because I found the main character whose name I can't think of was...
Oh, Luke. Yeah.
I found Luke to be just a giant prat. I mean, he's a rich kid who doesn't understand the concept of money. And I get that there's a story reason for that because he's a clone or whatever, because I know the story of it.
Yeah,
of course,
he's only 5 years old, so it's like...
But...
Which just makes Tyr's infatuation with him even more squicky. But,
weird. Good. But I did not like Luke. And when you get the Sorcerer's Ring, you've got this annoying little stuffed animal that screeches in your ear every time you use it. And I'm like, yep, I'm done.
You!
Screw that. Tales of Graces, I beat, but I don't like it. I never beat the extra added episode, though.
No, that's understandable.
Oh, okay, yep, there's some kind of crazy super jump. I like that. But, yeah, the thing about Tales of Graces was, and I know this was a functional design choice, was they decided to make every character sort of like, what's a good example? Sort of like Regal or Presea, in that it's a character that requires some mastery and some, like, unique mechanics to really get, and every character was like that. Like, there was no... For lack of a better term, Lloyd. Because, with Lloyd, you could just button mash your way to victory. Mm-hmm. And you didn't really have to understand the intricacies of his character or anything. Whereas, like, even the most basic character, which was Asbel, I think was his name.
Asbel, yeah. He had the sheath.
He had the sheath combo mechanic, which was just weird and awkward. Like, to give you a sense of how much the combat in that game did not gel with me, there was like a Coliseum where you have to do like a bunch of rather hard fights to do some optional content, and I ended up picking for that a character I'd never used before just because I figured I'd do just as well with him as any other character. I used Hubert.
Hubert's a really fun character when you spend the time to get to know how he plays. But that's something I appreciated about Graces and subsequently Berseria.
Oh, don't get me started about Berseria.
Oh, why not?
Oh, I'm trying to play Berseria. I do not understand the mechanics of that game. And it's funny because my brother saw that I was playing it, and we've got Steam Share, and he has it, so he was surprised I didn't just use his copy because I didn't even know he had it. But the first thing he asked me was, that game's got really weird combat, right? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't get the whole stealing souls and getting your soul stolen, and like... If your stole is stolen, you can't combo anymore, and all your all your attacks just get deflected. Like, there's just so little of that combat that really makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's really different compared to even compared to Graces, because Graces walks you through it. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's the.
I also don't like the not to cut you off. I don't like the fact that they dumbed down the art system, so now every attack is an art. But I did like the fact that every character's like superpowers was basically behaving the same way, so you could play as any character just as effectively. Like, yeah, every other character seems slower than Velvet, and that's the one thing I don't like, but I played as the samurai guy a little bit, I played as the pirate guy a little bit, it worked fine. It's just the deeper combat doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, yeah. Carry on about Graces or whatever.
Oh, no, I was just saying that Graces walks you through it. They give you... Because Asbel is the easiest character to play as. He is without a shadow of a doubt. I personally played as Richard most of the time, but he's only in the game for like a third of it. So...
Yeah, he shows up at the beginning through the prologue. After that, you don't get him until you beat the game, and then he shows up again for like the extra chapter.
No, he's periodically in the story, but because he's also... Spoiler alerts, he is also the big bad of the game.
Well, no, he isn't, but yes, he is.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he is... Not your friend. No, we're in the single options. There's story mode.
We go to story. And,
okay.
We'll just keep bitching about...
Okay, then I get to choose which school. Sweet.
Go nuts.
Okay. When did they add an extra character to the... Okay, anyway. Back on topic. I was talking about Tales of Graces. Sophie was the one I used the most because she is a lot of fun.
Sophie was an interesting character. Like, when you work on game design for as long as I had, you kind of get a sense of... You kind of know exactly where every story is going with. And we were talking about Live Alive before. That was a game that completely subverted my expectations. I mentioned that in my Game of the Year list is I jumped up and said, you can't do that, but they totally did. It was awesome. But I sort of had a suspicion about how Sophie would work because early on...
Sorry, they're discussing weed soup.
Yeah. Yeah.
This explains so much from the guys making the game.
But
anyway.
Sophie is like this little girl you meet as a kid, and she's bigger than you. And then she kind of dies, and you come back later, and you meet her again, and she's the same size, but you're like twice her size because you've gotten older. And I kind of had an idea of how that was going to work, and they kind of completely went off the rails with that. Like, I kind of figured that... spoilers, the lady on the moon was like an adult Sophie or whatever who was like controlling her or like sending her brain through her or something, and that was totally wrong. I was actually pretty surprised about that, but
it's almost Turn A Gundam-ish.
I have to watch Turn A Gundam. Actually, that was something I wanted to say is I started watching Gundam X because I finally found a subbing of it.
Now I have to choose a character. This game does not make it easy on me.
Pick the one with boobs.
I'm not even going to justify that with the proper response.
But yeah, I've been watching Gundam X, and I think I went into there with kind of the wrong mentality because it got cancelled way early. And I figured, it got cancelled, it must not be all that good. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Gundam X design. I don't care so much for the Double X, but I really like the grunt design with like the 3 eyes and stuff. I like Garad. I like the mercenary lady. There's some great characters in Gundam X. I've also been watching Gundam Age again.
Gundam Age is a fun series. It's not great, but it's fun.
The second arc is fantastic. Everything else about it is at best average, and at worst it's Kyo's arc. And no one liked Kyo. Because Kyo's terrible. You have special abilities. Be sure to use them.
I don't know if I want to use them.
Look at you being a rebel.
Well, there goes my only attack one.
Goodbye, Super Balls.
I am trying to figure out where these tanks of water are that they keep implying that I have, because...
Don't think about it.
But I always end up thinking about it.
That's even more cringy.
Okay, so each shot from her takes up like a full tank.
Oh yeah, you are using a rocket launcher.
Yes.
Sort of.
I just like Hamo, so I like her voice actress quite a bit. She plays a lot of my favorite characters in other shows.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with having a favorite voice actor.
My all-time favorite voice actress, though, is not in this series as far as I remember, and if someone does know if Miyuki Sawashiro does play a character in this, I would be greatly appreciated to know, but...
Okay, who's your favorite male voice actor?
If we're going English, it is... I can't remember his name right now, but he's the guy who played Kakashi in Naruto and Sora in Dot Hack Sign, the pre-Haseo. The PKK who...
yeah. When
not
you said,
PKK, the PK in
I know
Sign.
exactly who you're talking about. I was thinking when you said Sora, I was thinking Kite because I connected...
Kite's more of a Sora sort of character.
No, I get that. I was connecting the name Sora to protagonist because Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, that's what I mean. Kite's far more of a Sora character than than Sora himself in Dot Hack. But yeah. I'm going to look up his name right now.
Do that.
But no, for English, he's my favorite voice actor. He was great in Valkyria Chronicles. He played Welkin.
Oh, I gotta play Valkyria again. I've got the...
All in the build-up for 4 in September?
I don't know, honestly. I played I played the first one. I never beat it. In fact, I bought it just for the crossover with Skies of Arcadia. Because it's one of my favorite games. I got the second one, and I don't think I ever actually played it. And, because that would require me to use my PSP, which is kind of a piece of crap. Uh-oh, I got a cat. Okay, cat, come on in. Yes, yes, meow. Come on in.
Dave Wittenberg.
Yes, Dave Wittenberg. That's the name that's familiar. I think I may have just reselected the same chapter you just did. Oh well.
Well, we will find out.
Yes, we will. Okay, my go-tos are male voice actor Cam Clark.
Okay.
Because he was freaking Kratos, he was Leonardo of the Ninja Turtles, Liquid Snake, the best Veritech pilot ever, Max Sterling. Shoutouts to Robotech, greater than Macross.
Oh, I will fight you on that one.
You would be the guy to do it, yep.
I will spend hours arguing in favor of Macross.
Well, the thing is, you gotta consider them two separate entities, I think, but I prefer Robotech.
Oh no, that's fine, but yeah, I will fight that. Dave Wittenberg, most recent role Kefka in Dissidia Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's a great character, too.
He plays it really well.
Oh, yeah. He's a good actor, and Kefka's a good role, so I would expect so.
Well, you have no range with her.
Oh, no, I don't. It's like a flamethrower, sort of.
Yeah, it's. I love that they gave each character a unique weapon.
Yeah.
Compared to, say, Splatoon, where you find your unique weapon,
Or you buy it and swap it.
Yeah. In this, your character determines that, and I kind of like that more.
I would have preferred to be able to swap, but that's if I had any sort of investment with these characters myself. And, of course, my favorite lady voice actor is the incredibly talented Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, whose voice makes me melt.
She is wonderful. Still manages to...
Still bitter about her being engaged to Steve Bloom. I'm never getting over that. I do like that hyper jump. That is... I think... Here, just take a look at this. This is a cool feature.
Yep.
That is... I could see that being really fun in, like, a strategic sort of situation. Like, especially if we were to, say, like, do this multiplayer, which, of course, I'm on PS4, which no. But I think it would be interesting to try and utilize that and see how it could be done.
Well, that was a pretty cool special ability
Yeah,
there.
I'm just trying to figure it out. So, you're thinking the one on the right's always offensive?
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
The one on the left looks to be a buff.
Damage down, so yes, that would be sensible. You've got a greater intuition on this than I do, evidently.
I am a super avid card gamer. I'm going to use that as my excuse as to why it's easy for me to catch on to that. Also, I have played a lot of this sort of stuff, and they have some specific...
I don't play a lot of card games, mainly because I've never understood the rules to any card games ever.
Understandable.
I think the only card I even have in this room is, I've got this weird Mew card from one of the Pokemon movies back when I was a kid. I think the only Pokemon card I ever really wanted, though, was an original Charizard, because Charizard's my favorite. I still have to find something to do instead of Pokemon, because my Pokemon Let's Play's done now. I'd like to do Gen 2 Pokemon, but I don't own a copy in English. I own an Italian copy, but that might make things a little tricky.
Especially if you can't read Italian.
Also, Gatling gun. Well, that's actually where my very small, limited knowledge of Italian comes from. Well, that and Gringo Italian from Ezio. Shoutouts to good Assassin's Creed before it was bad.
Also, shout out to the fact that Sonic the Hedgehog could not speak Italian at all, and he had to come up with that accent on the fly. Also, shout out to...
It's a pretty good accent, too.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, that's fine. He was actually cut from the 2D Assassin's Creed game set in China, the Chronicles one, because Ezio was the mentor of the Chinese assassin. She's briefly introduced in Revelation.
Yes, I think I remember that.
If I'm remembering correctly, I know she's connected to the end game Revelation Ezio. Oh, let's try Hikage.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it was in one of the movies where they showed him, but Ezio, like, in his old age, like, literally hours before his death, he sort of meets her and trains her a little bit.
Yeah.
And then sends her on her way. Ezio was a fantastic character. It's a shame Assassin's Creed Revelation wasn't that great. Brotherhood was pretty fantastic.
Brotherhood's still my favorite Assassin's Creed game by
Mine
the
too.
standard of the playing as the Assassins. But my favorite game in the franchise is Origins because it mixes...
I've not played Origins. I'm sort of tempted to, but at the same time I'm a little bit hesitant just because the Assassin's Creed games have gotten so far away from the actual point of the Assassin's Creed games. And it's all about just running around collecting stuff, and it's like, well, you know, there's fun to that, but actually give me something to do that isn't just, you know, waste time collecting nonsense. That, and I'm still bitter about Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where half the game you play is the most boringest character ever.
Which one are you referring to?
Evie.
Okay, everyone's opinions on that are very different.
Evie is so boring. Jacob is actually interesting, and you never play as him. Oh, and Evie's maybe boyfriend. I don't know. I never got that far, but he was pretty boring too. But Jacob was fantastic. What we need is another Ezio, is my point. We need a character that is just, you know, goofy and fun.
I'd say there's the potential in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the next one coming out, but the game also looks like it's really half-assed. like I'm saying, this is saying something because we're talking about Ubisoft and half-assing here. But,
I was about to say.
But they're trying to go for a bit more like a semi-Witcher, a more Witcher-style RPG than open-world RPG, and I'm okay with that. She does not have the super jump the same way.
Does she not?
No, it's more of a maneuver thing.
Oh, that's
interesting.
Interesting, yeah. I kind of dig that. That's interesting. That means each character can be used in a sort of different tactical role.
Yeah, like right here.
Could the other characters do that sort of boost?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you hold down R2 and circle.
Ah, okay. See, I should be paying attention to the actual tutorial. And my cat's meowing. But the thing is, if I go and address him, he'll probably just want to be put outside, and he'll just meow at me more. So. It's sort of a situation where there's nothing I can do to appease my cat.
No, that's understandable.
Oh, he's... Okay, I'll put you out of this door. Go find a chair to go sleep on or something. Silly cat.
What's hers? Okay. She's still got her ugly kukri. I love kukri knives. They are one of my favorite designed knives. And when I say ugly, I just mean due to the damage it can do, not that the knife itself is awful. So anyone who likes kukri knives, please know that I'm not anti kukri knife.
You know, there's like a actual proper etiquette to a kukri. Like if you draw it, you have to draw blood with it. So most people who draw it, they'll cut themselves with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really cool design. It doesn't look like the most functional blade because like that hook, but I could also see the value in it.
Oh, it's functional. It's super functional. The more I've noticed that the more curve there is to a blade, the easier it is for cutting because it.
True, but that also usually means that it's easier to put strain on the blade and snap it. That's why sabers are kind of awkward to use. In my experience, I'm someone who has trained with katanas, though. They're a lot more sturdy blades. They just don't hold an edge as well.
Also got to think about the fact that the kukri is actually curved forwards, not backwards when you use it. So when you're cutting it's not...
So we can now customize our ninja. Let's do this, I guess.
Yay, custom... Oh my god, that's a long time to unlock customization.
Okay, so it's L1, I think. Okay, who was I using?
Not these characters.
Oh my god.
They just took you right out. It's actually...
This is the character I was using, so... That's not the character I was using.
No, weren't...
Flip, 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 flip. Flip, 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 flip. She was brunette. There she is. Okay, now how do I custom deck edit? That's what we want. Okay. So, okay, we can actually swap our weapons.
Oh, interesting.
Dual pistol. That sounds... Although, Gatling gun. I do like the subtlety of twin pistols. That's how I played in Splatoon, but I think I just gotta use Gatling gun.
Yeah, I'm glad to know that there is a weapon switching situation. I do still think it was pretty cool that if there wasn't and the characters were all relatively unique in this, but it does make a fair amount of sense that you can...
This was a pre-order or a limited edition thing. I know that. These are as well. So shoots toxic projectile in front of user. Poisoning any opponent it hits. Interesting. And then... Okay.
Let us hope you did not just
Completely
remove all her defensive abilities.
Let's find out, shall we? Okay, so we're going episode 4. I do like that I can swap my actual abilities.
Mm-hmm. I knew that the abilities themselves would be able to be swapped, but I wasn't sure what was going on with the weapons.
Yeah, I prefer that. And of course, that just goes down to if you have a preference for one of these characters, if you actually invest the time to learn them, I mean, you can at least make them more your style. So, like, if your favorite girl uses a weapon you hate, well, then you're stuck either using a weapon you hate or you're using someone else. So, customization's important. Also, Gatling gun.
Now I think you're in the first boss battle.
Oh, good. Okay, that's fun.
Wow, that has range.
Yes!
It also doesn't drain your water as much. Interesting. But it takes forever.
Loading takes forever, yeah. Oh, it's got like a, you can change the firing style too.
Yes.
That's...
with what, L1 did you hit?
Yes, L1.
Yeah, that takes off your auto aim.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, so if you, so you can't lock on unless you're using the single pistol, I believe.
Oh, I can taunt. Yeah! Extra ammo and firepower. Huh. Interesting. So R1 actually changes how your you view your yeah, okay. R1 views like the amount of ammo you have in your chamber as well as your reloads.
Interesting.
I think.
So one of them you can just lay... I can see how this would lead to some interesting decisions for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be going up against essentially nothing but... you're going to be going up against 4 other people playing as characters with the same sort of ability.
Yeah.
Layouts.
Still. Oh. I guess we're fighting a rival team now. Wherever the hell they are. Okay, where are you? There you are. I will admit, I'm probably going to say I enjoy this more than Gundam Breaker, the new one. I mean, that's not really saying much, but... Why can I not melee? I've got a robot, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's a puppet master.
I think I found a character I can really gel with then. Soak gauge up. I think that increases my refill or something.
It looks like the biggest issue that hits the boss battle is that it's hard to find where everything is.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 2 characters down that need revival.
Eat fireballs. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta admit, I think I enjoy this more than Splatoon. It seems to work with a lot more verticality than Splatoon did as well. Certainly feels like it's got more personality.
A lot of people would argue that, but I understand where you're coming from.
And then the game just gets weird about shit.
Yeah, you can't actually skip the finish the moment.
Now, see, that's the one thing I want to skip. That Gatling gun is fun.
It looks like it. It's a very interesting... I'd be interested to have something like that just for water gun fights. That would be
an amazing feat of engineering. But I mean, that's how Super Soaker came about, is it was designed by an engineer.
Yeah. Alright, with the first boss down, let's try another team.
We've been doing this for an hour. Which means we've actually been, playing this for about 20 minutes. But still.
Yeah, so those missions are so short.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just hoping there's a little bit more variance to it instead of just, shooting the squirt doll dummies or whatever. Because that's one thing I'm a little worried about, is like, if it gets a little samey. Now that said, so was Splatoon, but Splatoon still had like the ability to adventure around half-assed designed environments.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's two of them now. Okay.
I wonder, is it sort of like, as I understand, Counter-Strike works, where you have a limited pool of weapons, and every time you use one, it removes one from your stock?
I'm not sure.
Interesting. Well, that would add like a layer of strategy to how you set up your characters.
Alright, let's choose another team. So we played one of the villain teams.
They were the villains?
Not really much anymore. Their leader is more obsessed with surviving day to day than she is on anything remotely villainous. This is the true evil team. I know it's tough to take any of this seriously with that.
It really is. Although that said, this game seems to have a similar issue to story progression that the new Gundam Breaker also had, which is the story only has like 5 missions. You just have to do each mission with like every team. And New Gundam Breaker's the same way. There's only 5 missions. You do every mission with every character, though.
Oh no, there was more missions with the other team. I was just thinking.
No, I know, but it said mission 5 out of 10, so.
Oh, that yeah.
It doesn't look like there's much more, and that seems like a problem in games I've been playing recently.
Okay, now for the team with the most irritating character in the franchise, but...
Oh, dear lord. I don't want to think about New Gundam Breaker anymore. And the thing is, I think I'm sort of set in trying to play through it for live streams, even though that last one was just abortively bad because audio levels reset. Oh, that was embarrassing, but I feel like I need to stream all of New Gundam Breaker just for the sake of... I need to justify that I spent $80 on this game that I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I really just want to go back and play Gundam Breaker 3.
No, she's not available, so I will go with... let's try Yaku.
You could have customized your character, I think.
I probably could have, but... I'm just going to do the basic run for the first mission.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what this weapon does.
It looks like a pistol.
It is a shotgun.
Huh.
It is a freaking... Oh, where did I get hit from there? Oh, that's where.
Well, it seems like you're leaving a lot of parts exposed and not without armor, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those...
I do like that sliding animation where she just sort of luges down the environment. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. No, one thing this series has always had going for it is that the animations for combat can be quite amusing to say the very least, and really well done. Oh, there come the camera issues. Always when there's something near you. There's a reason most games with a competitive mode like this are first person. Was because then you can't get stuck on the environment, except for the environment that's in front of you.
It's true.
What the ever-loving hell did I just do?
I think your teammate sprayed you with water and therefore
Oh, it's the power-up that they
somehow
mentioned.
got some power. Yeah, in a game where you're trying not to get sprayed by people, get sprayed by your teammates and you're just completely fine.
Well, that
sure.
just means I can do this!
You have unlimited. That's awesome. I do like how bright and colorful this game is. I would argue this game is a lot more cheery looking than Splatoon, that's for sure. But Splatoon's environments are also kind of industrial for the most part.
Yeah, I do like the water park setting and the fact that it's different areas in the water park. It's not just, water park, water park.
Yeah.
Yay!
S rank.
I don't think we're doing this right if we're this kind just from bumbling around.
Yeah, I want to say this is actually kind of like Counter-Strike in the sense that you have a limited stock of weapons. And it's probably not per use that you run out of one. Mm-hmm. But I would imagine like when you equip something different, then it would reduce your stock. I think.
Quite possibly.
We're getting money for something.
Yes. Probably costumes.
Yes, let's spend hundreds of dollars on all the crossover costumes. Because that's what money's for. Costumes.
Yay, costumes.
Especially when you don't have a job or money. Okay, who do I want to play as? I want to try the dual pistol, so I'll pick this character.
I've always found it interesting that they could never find anyone to dub this. Like, Xseed's just like, we're not even going to try.
Well,
No, but I mean, all the Legend of Heroes titles, all the East titles get dubs.
I've never played any of the Legend of Heroes, and the only Ease game I played was 7, but I've been wanting to play both of them again.
Legend of Heroes is great, but...
Yeah, I've got it on my Steam list. But, I think it's just because they're afraid that would offend the sensibilities of their greater fan base, not to, overly generalize about people who would really, really like this sort of thing.
Oh my gosh, out of the water park. This is a map from the first beta game.
Interesting. Hot Springs! It's been forever since I've been to a Hot Springs. I want to go to one now. I went to this nice one up in the mountains once. It was very, very nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. They had like this walk-in mineral cave that was part of the hot springs too. It was very, very nice. Okay.
Oh, that was painful.
Yes, I got hit by water so hard I got knocked on my ass.
Somehow it's just because this is all ninja related. It either makes you... Wait, was the whole point just to get here, or was it defeat all enemies?
I think it was defeat all enemies, but it looked like one continuous map. That was pretty cool.
At least it seems like there's different environment designs.
Yeah, I can appreciate not being stuck in that little like mall area of the water park or the pirate ship. Having more than 2 environments is good. It's such a small thing, but I really like that loading screen.
Yeah, it's a really nice loading screen.
That reminds me of when Sony started trying to sell dynamic themes on the PS3, and they were all just so crap.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you made that into a dynamic theme, I'm not saying I'd pay for it because I wouldn't, but if you offered it for free, I would take it and I would probably actually use it. I think the only theme I have on my PS4 is the Undertale theme, and that's because I bought Undertale and I got it for free.
Don't you have that Mega Man one you're using, or?
I
Or is that the Undertale?
That was Undertale.
Okay, it looks very Mega Man-like, just the design of the theme itself.
It's one of the last areas in Undertale. Ah, it's such a good game, too. I beat that in one sitting the first time I played it. It was so fun. And the writing in it's just fantastic.
Okay. Do this.
Editing. Also a very good Dreamcast shmup. I've actually never played Ikaruga. I should do that. It's downloadable. It's downloadable on a lot of things. I think the Switch has a copy of it now, too.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct.
They've released a bunch of them. You can get the original Gunbird now. Like, not even that crappy Mobile Light Force version of it.
I've heard the name. I'm not too sure what the game...
It's a pretty generic shmup, but it has some goofy writing that if you're playing the English Mobile Light Force was all removed. And then they renamed one of the characters the MILF 2000.
Okay.
Which I think was supposed to be MLF, Mobile Light Force 2000, but someone was very clearly not giving a shit at their job. Which is pretty much everything you can say about Mobile Light Force. I mean, they had 2 games in their series, which were, of course, remakes of existing shmups. Not even remotely related shmups either. They used the exact same box art.
Yeah.
I once had the option of buying the original Mobile Light Force. The guy wanted like $40 for it. It's like, yeah, no. If I'm gonna buy a shmup on the PS1, I will save my pennies and I will get Einhander. Because that was at least from a time when Square Enix was, you know, trying things.
They're kind of getting back into that, but they usually use IDOS to do that now. They're
Didn't they remake their very first game, King's Knight?
Yes.
The shmup on the NES?
Yeah, we don't discuss that.
Was it bad?
It was kind of an embarrassment.
I remember the...
It was part of their Final Fantasy 15 overload.
Yeah, they referenced it a lot in Final Fantasy 15, if I remember.
Oh.
But I remember playing the original NES one, and that was weird because it was a shmup that was also trying to be an RPG a little bit. But I thought it was fun for what it was.
Okay, the sniper rifle is not fun. I would like to point this out.
The sniper rifle seems like it has less range than the one in Splatoon.
The sniper rifle has less range than that Gatling gun.
So what I'm hearing is you want the Gatling gun.
Oh, that would be so much better. How did I take damage? I struck you with a sword. You did nothing. You did nothing.
Now they're taking design cues from Tales of Berseria. You had your soul stolen. They deflect all your attacks now. It's just how things are because sense.
Well, I'm nearly out.
I'll admit this is more fun and less strictly fan servicey than I thought it would be. I think that is about the biggest compliment I can give it, but it does seem very, very one note, which is not that great. They should create some like extra game modes or something instead of just shoot all the enemies.
Yeah, there really should be, but the again the PS4 and Vita era of this franchise has been really lackluster.
That's why they're remaking it, isn't it?
They're remaking it as the PS4. No, they're taking the 3DS game and remaking it.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a good thing.
I remember hearing you being really positive about that fact the last time we talked about it.
Like, it's... No, I've seen gameplay footage because at E3 they were showing some of it off. Maybe I'll be more accurate without the stupid lock-on. Because I can at least...
So what else from E3 do you want to talk about? Speaking as someone who doesn't really care about E3, I'm willing to...
You should be following Daemon Ex Machina.
I know about that one. That one actually does look kind of cool. That looks... And they're remaking the legendary Metal Wolf Chaos.
Yeah, I think that's coming out short-ishly.
Oh, good. As long as they don't change the voice acting and the script. That's the only thing.
Never use the sniper rifle in this game. That is the lesson that we just learned here.
Stick to Gatling gun. Got it.
For you, yeah. For me, I don't use the sniper rifle. I like the shotgun. That one was fun.
The only thing about the Gatling gun I don't particularly like is its jump is a little bit different, because I think the jump mechanics are tied to what weapon you've got.
Yeah.
Which seems a little weird. It felt a little bit, and I might be mixing up gameplay from another weapon I used, but it felt a little bit too much like Flood from Mario Sunshine, which was just a little not that great. Which is funny, because Mario Sunshine is probably the one I would say is the best of all of them. And it was certainly the last remotely inventive one. I know people dislike that I say that, but that's very much how I feel.
So have you played Odyssey? And what did you think of it then?
Odyssey, yeah, I've played it. It felt like the environments were too big and too empty.
Okay.
That's my biggest issue with it. Who do I want to play as? Who's on the same team? I don't want to use your character.
You start, it starts from Asuka, and then we'll move down until you surpass... Go one more, just so I can see. Miyabi will be the start of the next team.
Okay, I will use Blondie here.
Oh, she already comes pre-equipped with the Gatling.
Oh, she does. Awesome. Pet. I'll use my special DLC pet because I bought the limited edition version of this. I get the soundtrack. Now I'm gonna upgrade with all my special cards because why not? And these ones look important. I'm not even looking at their stats. Screw it. I have a Gatling gun. Your argument is invalid. And we will... Yeah. No, that seems fine. Okay. Yes. Okay.
I think you'll be facing someone with a Gatling gun, so...
Skip. Yes, it does quite look like I'm facing someone with a Gatling gun. I will point out my character is not here. I'll use this character. You lied to me! What the hell did I just drop? Whatever.
Oh no, she's part of the team.
She's not.
But they've been cutting characters. You kind of used the leader of the team in the first mission.
That's weird.
It is.
I don't know what this weapon is, that's why I picked this character. Oh, it's a grenade launcher.
That is amusing.
Okay. Sure. That's actually not too bad. It's a little awkward, but what's the jump look like? Oh, okay, I can make that work. I just like that crazy jump.
I like how easy they make it to reload.
Yeah. Okay, so, gonna jump over you. There was someone using a sniper rifle. I'm not jealous of you at all. I'm just gonna use all the cards.
Wait for your deck to reload.
More cards. Actually, I think she might have been the character I upgraded, so whoops.
Nope, it wasn't, but... Oh, was there an alternate form?
Might have been. I don't know.
To your firing.
There might have been. And that's how you beat someone with a Gatling gun. With a grenade launcher. That was actually kind of a fun weapon. That was rather amusing.
Seems like it. as I said, it's still played very, very seriously.
Oh, that's who I selected. Yeah, yeah, they're definitely playing it straight, which I think is probably for the best. I think it's the only way they could have gotten a lot of comedy out of the concept. You know, along the same lines, a horrifying realization I made is the best volleyball game on the Xbox 360 is that terrible Dead or Alive game. Because name any other volleyball game on the Xbox 360.
They're actually, in some ways, worse, just based on the fact that they don't have Dead or Alive's absurdity to protect them. So, oh my god, that is just my luck. The least enjoyable character in the entire freaking game. And... okay, anyway. 4 cards, man. 4 cards.
Well, I know the really sad thing about that is I have Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 2. I bought it for $1 just so I had something that someday I could use as an example of a really bad game. It has an actual, almost sort of competent wave race mode on jet skis. And it's like, it's so close to maybe being good. But everything about it is just terrible.
So, going back to what I was discussing before, about 20 minutes ago or so, this is the evil team, true evil. And this is like the good team that won't budge on the rules no matter what.
Let's not use ninja abilities. Let's just stick to super soakers because those are truly the ultimate weapon. That's an outfit of some description.
I'm just gonna keep clicking through. Click.
This is a game. I think we've discerned at least that much from this.
It's a functional game.
Yeah, it's actually not horrible. It's cringy, but, you know, it's playable. There's bits of it that are really enjoyable, like the movement's actually ridiculously good. And the different features depending on your weapon, that's actually legitimately cool. It seems pretty samey though, which is...
Well, once again, you look at it, and Mission 1 is the exact same setup as all the previous ones.
Yeah. It's very similar, probably, in terms of build to the new Gundam Breaker, in the sense that, you know, everyone's got the exact same level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, but you're using different characters, so it's different-ish in air quotes. But if nothing else, it's Splatoon with boobs. And that's enough for some people. I at least enjoy the movement in that, and I can see that the absurdity in this could at least make it fun. I'm not sure how much enjoyment I'll get out of it, just in the sense that it's, you know, very, very samey, but, you know, it's goofy, and it might be just good for some dumb, fun time.
Yep. I appreciate that they have 2 aiming modes.
Yeah.
Because...
there's a lot of, like, functional quality of life things to this that definitely make this an enjoyable game. I think there's some basic functions, like different...
Oh, you can reload while airborne.
Yeah. Which means you could extend your airborneness for a while, too.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of just small things that make this actually a legit game. But at the same time, I think it could use some more modes, some more enemies, a little bit more variance would definitely benefit it.
Oh, this is one of those that personally I would love to see them take another crack at. Not the cooking one. Oh God, never again the cooking one.
See, I kind of want to see what that would be like. I'm just imagining half-naked cooking mama.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much just a rhythm game.
Oh God, I cannot play rhythm games to save my life. I think the only rhythm game I ever played remotely competently was Elite Beat Agents.
Yeah, well, Elite Beat Agents is a special rhythm game because it makes an effort to make sure you can
It was good.
enjoy it.
That's true. That's one thing. I have no sense of rhythm. I have no sense of balance. The only time I'm actually like remotely coordinated is when I have a large, sharp object in each hand. For whatever reason, just all my swordsman training, like when you actually have a sword in each hand, I can, you know, hold my balance ridiculously well. But other than that, I have mastered the art of falling up flights of stairs. That's an outfit I like. Can I get that outfit?
Quite possibly.
That is just an absurd outfit, and I think that's fantastic. I enjoy the absurdity of what this is, I guess.
And absurd it is.
Okay, I think we'll give it one more go, and then we'll swap over to Dark Souls, if that's alright.
Yep. Oh.
You keep knocking that over.
Well, they're always left on this end.
That's true. I don't have anywhere else to leave those. Those are books I've got for my uncle, because he's a big Star Trek guy. Alright. I will use you. I'll use you. And I'm going to deck edit. Experience? There's a leveling system. Interesting. What does that actually do, though? Does that make you functionally better in some way? Do you get more health? And
I have no idea.
also, you seem to be giving up cards to do that. Are those duplicates, or are they cards that you're actively using?
I think they're duplicates.
Okay.
Because you see here, you've only got the...
There's my
Oh, but
sushi
I think
roll
you can
bazooka.
technically enhance them.
Yes, I can. Interesting. Okay, well let's set up our special cards of... I'm not actually paying attention to what these cards do, but we're going to throw them on my character, because why not? I paid for the limited edition. I'm going to use the limited edition cards. Damn it. It's not my fault the standard edition cost more for some reason. Yeah, you can upgrade the cards too, it seems.
Yep.
Okay, that actually adds a whole layer of depth to this.
That one makes more sense. Let's put it that way.
Okay, we'll upgrade the... Okay, so we're upgrading our Gatling gun. What did that actually accomplish, though?
I missed the stats as you were...
Yeah, I didn't notice a change in stats either, so it might be more...
I think you just backed out instead of going through with the mission.
Oh well. I'll go through the mission again. It is within my power to make that happen. Unfortunately, I can skip the story bits, because I'm not interested. Okay, I picked you, so let's go.
I noticed it changed your card from green, like the other weapons, to
Yeah,
blue.
the background definitely changed. I just wonder if that modifies its firing rate, or its damage output, or, I don't know, adds an extra barrel to the gun or something. It actually did. I remember that Gatling gun originally having 3 barrels. Interesting. Oh, that's an aesthetic change. There's probably a functional change too. Of course.
The damage count is higher.
Yeah.
Only by 2 points, but...
Well, I only leveled it by 2 points, so... Okay, so... Upgrading stuff seems to happen. Now, what worries me is... To upgrade, we had to sacrifice cards, but it didn't really specify which cards we were using. So if that was doubles, if it was...
It's doubles.
Okay,
it's been saying since the start when you got duplicates that the duplicates were put into an experience pool.
Oh,
Well, I didn't know it was an experience pool, but they said they were turning them into something else.
okay, that's good then. Yeah, I don't like that jetpack mode for this thing, but that's literally the only thing about the Gatling gun that is remotely not that great. I quite like this gun. This is a fun little toy.
I like the environment.
Yeah, no, this actually is a really cool environment.
I can see multiplayer-wise, at least, this would be a very interesting...
I just created a barrier that shot out flame balls. That's cool. Ah, mission complete. Okay, I guess we're done, but final thoughts on Peach Beach whatevers.
Should not necessarily be purchased physically. Catch it on a digital sale if you're interested, because this is the sort of game that would be easier to just open up, play a round or two, and then leave.
Yeah, I bought it digitally, but that's just because it was more affordable that way.
Yeah. But no, digital would be... This is the game. It kind of reminds me, and people are going to hate me for saying this, but it reminds me of Overwatch in the sense that you can play it for a bit, but it's not something...
You want to play for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
I'm the exact same with Overwatch. I play around maybe once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, where you play a round or 2 or 3, or you just dedicate one day and play, and then you're like, I've done my time with this, and then move on to something, either with more of your style of story progression, more of your style of multiplayer gameplay, more of your style of whatever it is that you go for game wise.
I agree, wholeheartedly, and if nothing else, I think we can say this with definitive certainty: it's Splatoon with boobs.
It's less cringy than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's actually a legit game, which is more than I thought it would be. It's actually kind of good. Which
is very one note, and that's what's going to drag it down in the overall experience. Why you shouldn't dedicate as much time. I will also say that yes, it really should have used more mission variety.
Well, we also didn't clear an entire arc. It could be that each arc has like the same structure, so later they change. It's possible.
I'm gonna guess based off of my experiences with the other
I'm inclined
Sony titles from the franchise that's not going to happen.
Probably
there was more mission variety in the 2D in the side-scrolling beat 'em ups for the 3DS than there were in any of the Vita titles.
And the thing is, and this isn't necessarily saying a lot about this game, but this is probably one of the better games I've played this year. Now, granted, that includes a year where I played New Gundam Breaker. But it's functional, it's fun, the movement is fluid, and it's actually varied. I quite enjoyed the movements. I think the movement alone is going to have me come back and just sort of explore this game a little bit more.
I think it would work better as well if it tried less to be Splatoon Dynasty Warriors in the missions and pit you against other characters who could kind of function like you, or removed your team.
It would definitely be more of a multiplayer sort of functional game, I think. But again, this is PS4. I'm not paying for PS Plus. Screw that. Not having money is a great dissuader in that. But this game, better than I thought it would be.
And for me, that's just a standard reaction to Senran Kagura as a franchise as a whole.
So you're saying I should probably play the other ones too now?
If you don't mind more Dynasty Warriors style.
Sometimes Dynasty Warriors can be fun. I mean, I said this in my incredibly bad New Gundam Breaker stream that we will never talk about again, that I will obsess over. But I bought Dynasty Warriors 3 just because Duo was being played by Scott McNeil. Like, I don't care for them, but I can enjoy them.
Well, then just wait for Burst Renewal when it comes out in sometime in the latter portion of 2018, early 2019. For, in other words, the remake of the first 3DS game for PS4.
Yeah.
Because that will probably be a decent introduction. I thought the story for that one was enjoyable. It's very... It was before they kind of went overboard with the let's just make fun of the absurdity of big-breasted ninjas rushing around and fighting each other, where they thought let's still give it a relatively straight-laced ninja story that functions relatively well.
Yeah.
The writing in these games is actually pretty good. It leans more on the absurd, but it's still well written.
Also, Gatling Gun Super Soaker. That's a thing that needs to happen.
Someone make it.
Yeah, someone with an engineering degree. Make this a thing, please. Anyway, we'll be back with some Dim Whistles in a little bit. We just got to refresh the stream and do some stuff in the background. But we'll be back then. And until then, peace out, Internet. As I lose my hat.